So now that we've looked at all of those things that you need to buy for your baby, you need to have something to put them in when you go out and about. So let's have a look at how you're going to pack your bag and what you're going to pack them into. Now, nappy bags are obviously this big question is, what do you buy? Well, I find that when I look around at mums and they're using these nappy bags that are like a backpack, but they stand up straight, this is often the best thing that I have seen. It's a backpack, but it's also got plenty of package space inside of it. It's got little pockets everywhere. You can even access the nappy bag from the bottom by using this zip at the bottom here. You can access whatever's at the bottom of the bag from the outside of the bag. This is a fantastic idea, and I just find that it's got everything that you need. It's got a pocket for everything. If you're formula feeding, there's even place to put the bottles in the front. If you're breastfeeding, you could use that for clothes. Honestly, this is to me the best functional nappy bag. And you have to look at even like the little things like having a tissue holder at the side here so that you can easily get either tissues or wipes out of as well. So really, when you look at a nappy bag, think functionality. And I know we've got lots of things that we want the fashion item and we want the name tags that are attached to them. Honestly, when you have a baby, think functionality. Even, for example, there's a little pocket at the side here that you can slip your phone into or your car keys or things like that. So really, when you're thinking about a nappy bag, you're going to have to carry your baby sometimes. So having a backpack that you can sling over your shoulders so that you can carry your baby and you've got the bag on the back of you, that makes it much more comfortable for all of you. And as I said, there's so many pockets available in these little bags. Look around, do your research. So for example, the La Queen bag that I have here is only $60 and you're going to use it for years and years and years. In actual fact, I use this as part of my practice when I carry my things around to go to the mums, because I find it so useful to have all of these little pockets available. So therefore, what are you going to pack in your bag when you go out? And of course, it's called a nappy bag, so you need lots of nappies, especially if you're using disposable nappies. Make sure that you've got at least 3 or 4 of them if you're going to be out for a long time. And when you come back again, make sure that you repack the items that you've used out of the bag. That's really important. Have your wipes, if it's reusable wipes, disposable wipes, whatever it is, make sure that you've got wipes with you, and having some bum cream, even having a little pot, a smaller pot in your nappy bag rather than the big pot that you've got at home. Obviously have hand sanitizer. If you cannot go and wash your hands once you've changed your baby's nappy and you're going to be breastfeeding straight away, make sure please that you've hand sanitized. And then obviously have a waterproof around so that you can put it underneath your baby. If you're out in the park, you don't want to put your baby obviously down, directly on the grass. So making sure that you've got that with you. Have a wet face cloth with you. If you're using disposable wipes, they don't taste nice when you put them around the baby's face. And especially as your baby gets older, always have a wet face cloth inside a plastic bag so that you can use that to wipe your baby's face with in your hair and the hands as well. Have a packet for soiled nappies, whether that's a wet bag that you're using because you've got modern cloth nappies, or a disposable bag to put a disposable nappy in, because you can't leave this behind, especially now with COVID and things. People don't want these things in their bins. Have a burp cloth with you to make sure that when you have your baby with you, you've always got a burp cloth that you can put over yourself. Have a change of clothing for your baby and make sure that you've always got this change of clothing in the bag. And if you haven't used it for a while, make sure that you've put the new size change of clothing in there for the baby, because you will one day be caught with a blowout somewhere and you haven't got clothes for your baby. Have a spare blanket, especially if it's getting into winter, so you can keep your baby warm. Have some toys and teether around if your baby is teething, and anything for them to play with is really good inside the bag. Have spare clean dummies. Please do not put dummies in your mouth and lick them clean, because that does not clean a baby's dummy. It just puts your germs from your mouth into the baby's mouth and actually make them sick if you've got something that's brewing. You can have spare bottles of water, for example, if you are formula feeding, make sure you've got the water there, and obviously your formula holder as well, as we've discussed before. And then somewhere stashed in the car, have a change of clothing for yourself. Now, this is important, and you will only get caught once with this, and then you'll realize that this is something that you should have trusted me on. Because, for example, I used to have a mum's group, and the mum came to the mum's group and she was holding her baby close to her, and her baby made a poo and everything came out the side of the nappy and was all over the front of mum's white shirt. Well, of course, we all had a good laugh, but the mum was laughing as well, but she didn't have a change of clothing for herself. So even if your nappy bag is big enough, just put even a top for yourself inside your nappy bag so that if you ever get caught, you've got something to change into as well, so that you make sure that you can keep yourself clean and tidy. So I'm really hoping that that has helped you to know what to pack in your nappy bag and looking at what sort of nappy bag to purchase for yourself as well.